Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Hope you all will be doing well and enjoying the holy month of Ramadan. We have almost covered in our previous series of lectures the business plan section fully, starting from how to write an effective business plan, guys, and moving to the marketing plan, then to the organizational plan, at the end with a financial plan in which we discuss thoroughly the different financial tools, how to make the pro forma income statement, the pro forma cash flow, the pro forma balance sheet, what is break-even analysis, what are the sources of funds that will come to the business, and what are the expenses where the funds will go. Now we have to start, as we studied in the first part of this semester while the university was not closed due to COVID-19 pandemic suspension of classes. So in those lectures we studied the first chapters, but as we have time, so we will go again to those chapters. Boys, the topic is the first chapter, topic of entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial mindset, how the mind of entrepreneur works. I have told you in business plan that how General Montgomery studied General Rommel in the Second World War in the Sudan and Egypt, and how he defeated him. And the reason was that Rommel's written a book, War Strategy and Tactics, and that book was the inside of his mind and his all plans, military plans. He was a great military leader with a very few resources. He surprised the Allied commanders, generals in a dashing way. With no time, he was on their heads, and they have no other choice but to surrender. In the 21st century, we have another guy whose name is Richard Branson. Probably all of you have heard his name. He's a great entrepreneur, a great humanitarian, a great intellectual, and he has a very good grasp of entrepreneurial activities, and he developed very nice teams around the globe for his company, whose name is Virgin. Here we see he's standing with his Australian team, and we can take insight from the photo that how comfortable his all employees was with him. There is a very nice level of trust, very nice level of communication between them, no tapism, no long communication, things like that. Here we see how they are doing the humanitarian aid the Virgin company is doing. Now, again, a very challenging job in the COVID-19 period to enable the supplies of medical and other equipment, the test kits and the masks and the oxygen cylinders and the ventilators and the safe dresses for the paramedics and for the patients. So all these things need, and the only supply nowadays is, all we know that China has did very well with its pandemic in Wuhan, and now they are supplying the whole world, not only sharing their experience with them but also supplying with them the different medical equipment and services they need. A thought from an entrepreneur, Robert H. Sechler: tough times never last, but tough people do. Very very rightly, the Robert has said that tough time will not long forever. Is this pandemic is we are going through it, in one way, the other way, it will affect us. But with the grace of Allah and with the wasila of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we will go through it, and this time will not last for very long. But only those people who have a very good belief system and they are focused on their organic food, not the burger food, the burger family food, which is extremely dangerous for the health. The organic food, the organic vegetables, and the ghee, like what we call in Urdu the sarson. I cannot find the exact word for it in English, but sarson oil is very much available in our country, and we can use it instead of the produced oil of factories. We are using it in our homes. So you all are advised to be focused on organic food, prayer, and always ask from Allah. We are humbly submit your will to Him, because He is the creator. Nature and development of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneur is an individual who takes initiatives to bundle resources, to bundle resources I will come to here, to bundle resources and take action here. Bundle resources in innovative ways, creative ways, and willing to bear the risk. Any business will involve risks or uncertainty to act. As we know from our previous lectures, whatever we plan is for future, and future is not certain. There are systematic and unsystematic risks. The systematic risk can be minimized. Unsystematic risk cannot be, like this pandemic, earthquake, things like that. Okay, hurricane, tsunami. And who is entrepreneur? What are his basic characteristics? Takes initiatives. First is initiative. While if I ask the class that who will do this job, and there are only few hands, I ask raise your hands, and there are only few hands in the class among boys and girls. So guys, those who have raised hand the first, they are initiative takers. You will see such people around you. Bundle of resources. What are resources? I have told you the previous lectures. Again, man, machine, and material. These are the 3 M's used in any entrepreneurial, any business activity to produce products and services of more value and to sell it to the end customers for what? For sale. But you should be innovative and creative. Your ways should be different from your competitors. Okay, is willing to bear the risk. Risk is always there, and you have to calculate it and plan it in a way that to minimize it to the greater extent. Okay, coming to the second part of the slide. Being an entrepreneur today is what? Boys, involves what? Involves creation process. You create a new business. Okay, requires not only business, a new painting, a new novel, poetry, a new innovation process. Any good process like TQM, total quality management, is a process developed by Professor William Oshii from Japan. It requires devotion of time and effort. Your time and efforts will be needed a lot. You will holistically work day and night. If you see the entrepreneurs, Bill Gates, Richard Branson, and a few from Pakistan like Junaid Jamshed, and the owners of Gul Ahmed Ideas, all of them work very hard to achieve the present status in the market. Involve rewards of being an entrepreneur. But why are you doing it? Involves reward. Rewards not should be in the form of monetary money, but recognition in society. I have told you the example in the first lecture of Jahangir Tareen. From a very humble beginning, he is now among almost the top 100 big entrepreneurs of Pakistan, with almost 40,000 to 45,000 acres of land, while he inherited from his father 500-acre land, but he was educated in USA, and that was a big strategic advantage to him, and he used his advantage to fully exploit opportunities around him. Okay, he has 12 mills and a lot of investment in other projects like energy and like marble, granite, things like that, and many other things. Requires assumptions of necessities. You should assume, like a computer simulation programs. All of you are computer and software students. You can understand what is a computer simulation program. That is, you see different games like war games in that is simulation, plans flying in the computers, and there are two persons and they are flying. So these are simulations. You can make such a necessary simulations of your future business. Entrepreneurial action behavior in the response to a judgmental decision. Judgment means deliberate. You have studied cause and effect, and you scanned primary and secondary data. You have scanned the uncertainties about possible opportunity outcomes for which you are seeking profit as an entrepreneur. So what is the aspects? In this diagram we can see the flow of how you will identify an opportunity and evaluate the opportunity. Okay, develop business plan, resources required, manage the enterprise. Okay, opportunity assessment, creation of length of opportunities, have span of opportunity भी कहते हैं, because span of opportunities for a short time. In that time you have to start that business, otherwise if other people moved before you, they will exploit the opportunity, and when you go you will have less fruit left. Okay, coming to the next slide, we will discuss all this process in the next slide. Risk, returns, opportunity versus personal skills and goals in competitive environment. Boys, hope you are understanding. Be focused and be hard and fast in nowadays. The entrepreneurial process, opportunity identification, the process by which an entrepreneur comes up with opportunity for a new venture. Just when you start research, you as your final year projects, you have to come with a new idea, and that idea should be converted into some product which with your supervisor, and that should be innovative, that should be different, and that will be evaluated, and you can then even compete on that project on different competition forums. Okay, market size and the length of the window of what is mean by this window of opportunity? That is the span of time. When I was studying in my masters, I did my masters in 1998 from Institute of Management Studies, Sciences, Peshawar. So my professor, Dr. Muntaz Bangash, he was a very nice person, humble, we really respect him. He told me at that time that this is the right time to start a CNG pump business, and he was very right, because they have an entrepreneurship incubation program with an IM Sciences, and a lot of new entrepreneurs were trained there, and they started their business, and some of them were very successful now. So he was right, because 2000 to 2010 was really the period where the returns were very high, and people who started their business in 98 to 2001 to in the till 2005, they have diversified their let's say if they have one CNG, then they will have 4-5 CNGs. So that was the span of window of opportunity, the time period in which you should enter into a specific market, based on risk and rewards. As time passes, the risk increases and the rewards decreases. If we see now in Punjab, you can see a lot of CNG stations whose businesses are not good. The rewards have shrunk very down. Window of opportunity, again, the standard definition, the bookish definition is here. The time period available for creating the new venture. Voice clear, hope clear. Business plan, the description of the future direction of the business plan. We very thoroughly studied it in the previous lectures. How entrepreneurs think. Entrepreneurs in particular situations may think differently when faced with a different task or decision environment. Entrepreneurs are people who are sharp, who can see the future, whose mind is ahead of the people of the same group. So sorry boys, एंटरप्रेन्योर्स अपने हम उम्रों से या जो उनके साथ जो बड़े हो रहे हैं उनसे आगे सोचते हैं. अगले 10 साल 15 साल के लिए वो उनकी जहन में सोच होती है और वो चीज़ों को विजुअलाइज कर रहे होते हैं, सिमुलेट कर रहे होते हैं, ना, और उसी पर डिसीजंस लेते हैं. क्लियर. गिव द नेचर ऑफ देयर डिसीजन मेकिंग एनवायरनमेंट. एंटरप्रेन्योर्स need to sometimes be what? Effectuate. This is a process. These are psychological mental processes which we will discuss in the next slides. Cognitively adaptable, learn from failures. These are very important aspects of the mental processes which are going on in any entrepreneur, any successful entrepreneur. Causal process, when there is a cause and effect relation, that the first step start and it causes the second step. When you are attacked by a coronavirus, that is the cause. What will be the effect? The effect will be in your body very great temperature, throat congestion, and if the problem worsens, then even difficulty in breathing. Pains in the whole body. Some people will have diarrhea, and there are other symptoms also going on. So this is cause and effect relation. When it comes, a weather system enters, you see clouds in the sky. So that is cause of what, boys? That is cause of a rain. That when the clouds come, it may rain, but the main cause is clouds should be there. Without clouds, the possibility of rain is very bleak. Effectuation starts with what one has, who they are, who the entrepreneur, what they know about their present situation, resources and other things, and whom they know, who the target group and other people. You can select among possible outcomes, keeping in view, if you have different, when there is problem, there will be different solutions, and you should be smart enough to select the best possible path to achieve your goal. Entrepreneur mindset involves the ability to rapidly sense. Rapidly means very quick. You should be quick, act, mobilize even under uncertain conditions. And this is how a team leader do. A good team leader is always in stress, but he does not show his stress to his other colleagues, but he acts very smartly. He sees things. He have very good analytical abilities. He have very good depth, and he takes decisions timely in uncertainty. Cognitive adaptability describes the extent to which entrepreneurs are dynamic, flexible, self-regulating, engaged in the process of what? Generating multiple decisions. Multiple, because when you are entrepreneur or you are at the helm of affairs in any business organization. You have to take finance decision, marketing, production, IT, and taxes, in so many decisions. Okay, framework focused on sensing and processing changes in the environment and then act on them. The environment, the external environment, is always changing. You didn't know what will be the trends in the market tomorrow. If you see different trends in the market nowadays, the past 1 month trends, you will see that there are a lot of fluctuations in the consumer commodities, a lot of fluctuations in the manufacturing items, a lot of fluctuations in the prices of oil, a lot of fluctuation in interest rates in foreign exchange markets. All these are the dynamics of environment, and a good businessman has a very good grasp on it. And you will only grasp then, boys, guys, dear students, when you go and study things in depth. A shallow swimming will not give you a good overview of what is beneath the ocean. Only a scuba diver who can go deep into the sea will have the real knowledge of what is in the bottom of the sea or ocean. It reflects in entrepreneurs' metacognitive awareness. Like cognitive means skills you learn. As students, what are 3 aspects of your learning? As instructor, I will judge you from 3 things. One is the knowledge that you gain from the book, from the lectures, seeing the whatever videos I upload and study them, go through them, give time to it. And the second thing is then how you know to apply that knowledge in a real life situation. That is the cognitive skills. And the most important is your character, because whatever is cooking in the pot, the smells come out, and that shows what is your character. Your character should be very much upright. It should be humble. It should be accommodative. It should be positive. Then you can go forward. Otherwise, nature does not reward those people who didn't have these traits. Coming to the next slide, boys. How entrepreneurs think. Achieving cognitive adaptability. Comprehension questions adds understanding of the nature of environment before addressing an entrepreneurial challenge. Fully study, get a comprehension, deep study of the questions: what, why, who, the W questions. Connection tasks stimulate thinking about the current situation in terms of similarities and differences with situations previously faced and solved. Boys, here I want to share with you an interesting insight. You should go for hiking in groups and as individual, and plan it before. What you will need during your hiking trips. You stay in some jungle, some mountainous areas for some time, and take your food and other things with you. And if you have some task in that 4 or 5 days, that will be even much more better, and you will learn a lot from that. And a lot of entrepreneurs do it, like Richard Branson. So, please study him. Okay, boys, I hope you understand. Reflection tasks, strategic tasks stimulate thoughts about which strategies are. Strategies means long-term planning, appropriate for solving the problems, and why are pursuing the opportunity, and how. Again, why, how questions should be answered very clearly, and what questions should be asked again and again. Okay. Reflection tasks stimulates thinking about their understanding and feeling as they progress through the entrepreneurial process, as they go from startup, from the first point to the next step, then their understanding of the business they have taken becomes more deep and deep, and they produce a very much emotional bond with their new venture. Sorry students, I have been my throat, so sorry for any sort of disruptions. Boys entrepreneurs who are able to increase their cognitive adaptability have an improved ability to what? To adopt a situation. That is an indicator trend. ठीक है ना? अगर आप में ये खुसूसियत है कि आप different situations के साथ adopt हो new situations में. I will give you an example. Let's say you are working in Islamabad, a software engineer. In one fine morning, your boss says that we want to transfer you to Kabul, we want to transfer you to Tehran, and you make quickly your mind and says yes. That is adaptability. Be creative. How you will resolve a problem? Okay, there are different ways to resolve the same problem. Okay, if you have a good creative and innovative ability, you will have many solutions, and among the different solutions you can take the best one. Communicate one's reasoning behind a particular response. You should communicate to your subordinates, your team members, that what are the reasons, the logical points due to which you are taking a decision, a response to a situation. Okay, as the lockdown in COVID-19, there are some countries who didn't lock down, like the Scandinavians. They believe that with passage of time the population will produce the collective immunity. And on the other hand, there are models like America and UK or China, the first, who proposed and who implemented a very strict lockdown. Wuhan was province or city was fully locked down, and all entries were closed. People who remained inside, they will remain almost for 3 months there. And same situations in many cities around the world. Probably you all will be tuned to some channel. I will suggest you should tune to some good channels like BBC, CNN, Al Jazeera, that give standard news, and it will improve your English. It will also improve your level of understandings of different, because markets, businesses, and these things are also very in-depth studied there, like the DW, the German, or the RT Russian Russian television. Okay, come to the next thinking, the same topic. Learning from business failure is very much important. Boys, you all have studied the Robert Bruce, that how many times he failed to conquer or to subdue his opponent. And when he lost his battle, he saved his life in a cave, and there he saw some sort of क्या कहते हैं, मकड़ी, ठीक है ना, और वो मकड़ी जो है बार बार ऊपर चल रही थी और गिर रही थी, बट उसने हौसला नहीं हारा, and at the end he reached that makri to his destination. And such examples are many around the globe. Imran Khan, how he achieved the World Cup, the cancer hospital, and becoming a prime minister. Jahangir Tareen, how he become a very influential person in the past. How the Musharraf moved to power in army, and then even to take over and to as a political leader. So you can have so many examples. The Chairman Mao, how he converted the Republic of China into People's Republic of China in 1949, and afterwards you can see that it has almost become a very powerful nation among the Committee of Nations. Okay, Certainly, changing conditions, insufficient experience can contribute to failures among entrepreneurial firms. New startups fail, new uh, entries into the businesses while you are a new entrepreneur fail. Changing conditions, uncertainties. Let's say at this before this uh, pandemic, COVID-19, if somebody started restaurant in New York or any big city around the globe, Karachi, Islamabad, Toronto, London, Tokyo, so he will not have as much sales as he has forecasted before starting the business in 2019. But as the 2020 starts, the environment change a lot. When the environment, the condition change, so you can see that it has drastically affected your sales, and the sales has affected your revenues, and the revenues have affected your net profit, and the net profit has affected your liquidity, and again your ability to pay to the liability holders, banks and other people. Entrepreneur motivation is not simply from personal profit, but from the profit is not the single motivating factor for entrepreneur. Loyalty, love to the product, you love the thing you created. Okay, loyalty to market and customers, because a good businessman is one who is very much loyal to the customers. He takes the demands and needs of the customers and focused on that, and that gives him pride, that gives him satisfaction, and that gives him connection with the customers, and the customers in return give him good business, personal growth. As you as an entrepreneur, you go through the different phases, so your personal development is very huge. Your communication skills, your decision making, understanding difficult financial marketing situations, and coming out with some smart and some new solutions for the problems. The need to prove oneself. You can prove yourself. If a task is given to a subordinate and he achieve that, he is believe in himself, then he definitely achieve it. He produce results. Loss of business can result in negative emotional response from the entrepreneur. It's very obvious, boys, that if boys and girls, that if you lost your business, it will create a sort of trauma, emotional stress. But at the same time, it will produce a lot of energy in you, that why I fail. You should go back and see what were the different reasons, and come up with some good plans. Remove your weaknesses and do some crash program, courses in other things which enable your abilities to overcome those weaknesses. Okay, it can interfere with entrepreneurial ability to learn from failure, motivation to try again. This is a very good thing. Entrepreneurs you see around the globe, almost 80% have initially very tough times. You see Jack Ma, he was rejected from many jobs, and then he started a very small job in a English teaching or in English learning organizations, and from there he he has started interaction with the social media, computers, and there he get the idea that if I can make a forum, virtual forum, where I can close the buyer and sellers and on that forum, and whatever they deal with each other, I will have a commission on that. And in this way, now Alibaba is a very big Amazon in America, Alibaba, and so many other names. Recovery and learning process. Once you fail, the recovery process is a bit difficult. but not impossible. Recovery from failure happens when thoughts about the events surrounding and leading up to the loss of the business no longer generate a negative emotional response. Primary description of the process of recovering are loss orientation, ठीक है ना, and restoration orientation. Study in next lecture. What is loss orientation? Involves working through and processing in some aspects of the loss experience, and as a result of this process breaking emotional bonds to the object lost. What? Breaking emotional bonds. बस एक काम था, हो गया, बस छोड़ लें इसको, आगे देखें, ठीक है ना। अभी आपने सुना होगा कि भाई जो कुछ हो गया अभी मामलात को आगे लेकर जाएं. यू शुड मस्ट बी फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग, शुड लर्न फ्रॉम योर past, live in present, but go to the future. Focus on your future, and if you focus on your future, you will always have a ray of light in the extreme darkness that surrounds you. ठीक है ना जी। हर एक तरीके में आपको एक रोशनी की किरण नजर आएगी, और जब आप उस रोशनी की किरण की तरफ चलना शुरू करेंगे तो आप पूरी रोशनी में आ जाएंगे, ठीक है ना। आप कोई एग्जाम्पल हैं इस्लामी तारीख से भी मिल सकती हैं कि किस तरह हज़रत उमर फ़ारूक रज़ियल्लाहु निकले थे और नऊज़ुबिल्लाह उनके इरादे क्या थे, और जब वो तारीकी से निकले रोशनी की तरफ आए और अपने बहनोई के घर के बहन और बहनोई की मारपीट की, फिर उनसे कुरान के सहीक़े को सुना, आयतों को सुना, और फिर उसने जाकर उन पर असर किया, और फिर वो जब गए तो बाकी सहाबा ने कहा अगर आप कि कुछ इरादे ठीक नहीं हैं तो हम आपका सर कलम कर देंगे, कि उनके साथ तलवार भी थी, मगर उनका क्या नहीं। तो दीज आर द थिंग्स कि देयर इज ऑलवेज ए रे ऑफ लाइट, इन दैट रे ऑफ लाइट इज ऑलवेज अ मोटिवेशन इनसाइड यू, ठीक है ना। आप अपने, और जब आप अपने रब से नज़दीक होंगे, हुज़ूर पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की मोहब्बत होगी, ठीक है ना जी। देखिए दुनिया को चेंज जो है इस्लाम ने सिर्फ स्वॉट के ज़रिए नहीं किया है, ठीक है ना, कि आप इंडिया पर जो है एक मिसाइल गिरा देंगे और उन पर जो है क्या कहते हैं एटम बम गिरा देंगे तो बस आप जो है जीत जाएंगे, ठीक है ना। देखिए व्हाट द तालिबान डिड विद द एलाइड फोर्स इन द अफगानिस्तान, ठीक है। द एक्चुअल तालिबान देयर बिहेवियर इज एक्सट्रीमली अप टू द मार्क, एंड इट इज रिकॉग्नाइज्ड इवन बाय द एलाइड फोर्सेस. They behave very good with the prisoners of war, and many of the captured soldiers have converted to Islam once they were captured and then released, and so many names are there. What I mean is that the laws give you a very good opportunity, ray. The process gradually provides the loss with meaning, ठीक है ना, वो आपको एक मीनिंग देता है, उससे आपकी एक इंसाइट डेवलप होती है, and eventually produces a changed viewpoint, and with passage of time, as the time passes, you become a more strong person, seeing things from a different perspectives. Involves confrontation, which is physically and mentally exhausting, ठीक है ना। If you go to confrontation rather than orientation, और आप तो वो आपको एग्जॉस्ट कर लेगा, ठीक है ना। आप अंदर से टूट जाएंगे, टूट फूट का, जिस तरह फ़िरौन टूट गया आखिर में, ठीक है ना। उसकी जो क्या कहते हैं, जो उर्दू का मुहावरा है ना कि इसके सरिये लगा, इधर जो है ना ये सर के नीचे जो है इसके सरिये लगाए, तो सरिये अल्लाह तोड़ देता है, और आप अंदर से जो है उस टूट फूट के नतीजे में आप जो है बहुत ही मिजरेबल कंडीशन में चले जाते हैं, और आप ऐसे हालात में आ जाते हैं कि अल्लाह आपको बता देता है कि आपकी सिचुएशन क्या है. सी व्हाट द अमेरिकन्स आर नॉट डूइंग, व्हाट द इटालियन प्राइम मिनिस्टर सेड अराउंड अबाउट 1.5 months ago कि भाई हमारे हाथ से हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी तो बस किसी काम की अब नहीं है, अब तो हम बस ऊपर वाले को देख रहे हैं कि वही हमारी हेल्प करे. ठीक है ना जी, और ऊपर वाला ही इंसान की हेल्प करता है. ठीक है ना, इंसान और अल्लाह का जो रिलेशन है वो लिविंग है. ये नहीं कि अल्लाह ने दुनिया बना दी और वो कहीं साइड पर बैठ गए हैं. ठीक है ना जी, वो हर वक्त हय्यू या क़य्यूम है. उनसे हुज़ूर पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम से पूछा मुशरिकीन ने कि अल्लाह क्या कर रहा है, तो हर वक्त अल्लाह जो है कायनात में जो चीज़ें हो रही है उसमें इन्वॉल्व है, और आप जिस तरह उसके साथ रवैया करते हैं वो आपके साथ उसी तरह रवैया करता है ना. हदीस कुदसी है कि एक इंसान मेरी तरफ एक कदम आता है तो मैं उसकी तरफ 10 कदम जाता हूँ, वो मेरी तरफ तेज़ आता है तो मैं उसकी तरफ दौड़ कर जाता हूँ। ठीक है ना जी। और एक वक्त आता है कि मैं उसका हाथ बन जाता हूँ, मैं उसका कान बन जाता हूँ, मैं उसकी आंखें बन जाता हूँ। ठीक है ना। वो अगेन एक दूसरी